Hello folks, my name is Tim Rancorn. I'm the host of a web-based TV show called Tech Time. Tech Time is about utilizing and discovering new paranormal technologies that you can utilize in the field as far as trying to obtain credible evidence. I like to have a little fun on this show, and every now and then I try to make a few clips of little experiments that I am trying to show you as far as the capability and how to utilize certain types of equipment. Tonight, I'd like to basically go over some older equipment and stuff that's still currently out there in the field. Excuse me. One of the things that have basically made a name for itself, and whether or not you utilize it, it's totally up to you, but the all infamous K-2 meter. The K-2 meter is basically a interaction tool that a lot of people utilize within their investigations. Not knocking or saying that your investigation skills are better or worse than mine. I'm just going to basically show you some interesting facts as far as the K-2 and how it interacts with some everyday things that possibly might even give you some false positives. Now the K-2 basically came to its famous record on several different TV shows that you've probably seen in the past. Matter of fact, this particular K-2 is signed by Jason and Grant. Hey, go figure. But anyway, I'm going to play around with this K-2 a little bit, whether or not you utilize it as a doorstop or part of your investigations. I'm going to show you some interesting things about it. What you also see here is a regular Tesla EMF detector, which also has been seen on TV and has a pretty famous record to it too. But of the equipment that you actually see on TV, this probably is one of the EMF detectors that I would say is pretty legit. And then right here beside it is what we call a cell sensor. You know, cell sensors are good, they serve their purpose, but it's not your most, I would say, up-to-date and scientific piece of equipment. It has an analog meter that shows you the strength, and plus it also has this little cool light that comes on and makes a noise when it comes across any kind of RF or EMF type signatures. And you see this little backlight. I'm actually showing it up against the Tesla EMF detector, because one thing about the little Tesla EMF is that it does not have a backlight like a millimeter. So guys, moving on, I'm going to try and make this as short as possible, but what I'm going to try and do is kind of show you how many other different things that you actually might even have with you on investigations have the possibility of interacting with these guys. So, leave it as said, what I am trying to convince you or show you is that there is that distinct possibility of you getting a lot of false positives. People like to utilize the K-2 meter as, like I stated, an interaction tool. You know, you turn it on and it's got these pretty little lights that go from green to red, basically showing possibility of the intensity of finding some sort of hit or maybe an answer and question type scenario or session that people utilize itself. So let me show you something. First of all, this is just a regular cordless telephone that is very popular nowadays, that I would say just about anybody that owns a home or apartment or wherever living space they may have will most likely have a cordless phone. Excuse me. I'm going to turn this cordless phone on and kind of show you how the possibility of cordless phones may even interact with some of these EMF detectors. So here we go. I'm going to turn the phone on. Now, by turning the phone on, I'm actually activating a communication between the cordless and its home base. So when I hold it up next to basically any kind of turning on the cell sensor, so holding this phone close while I have it on, you know, it activates it. And I'll just shut it off and I'll turn it on again, turn the cordless phone on, and as you can see, it's interacting with the cell sensor, then also sets off the K2, and then if I get close enough to the EMF detector, I think it'll also set it off as well. I can't see it, and you're basically seeing it, so you can tell me whether or not I'm getting any kind of signal. But cordless phones, home phones, especially if you're doing residential investigations, I would look at them and definitely mark their locations, because if you're utilizing these EMF detectors, most likely you got the possibility of getting some false positive. Now moving on to another little device that I'm quite sure that just about every single team out there should have, because it's very convenient and has all different kinds of aspects as far as properties for your team to communicate, to set up your DVRs, getting the right picture, or just tracking down many different groups if you have a large group investigating an area. This is a two-way walkie-talkie, and you know, yeah, it's nice and little cute guy, but you know, they're fairly cheap. But I would say just about any and every paranormal team would have a set. Now, this guy actually emits a two-way radio wave, an RF signature, you know, to communicate with its partner. You know, I just have this one, so I'm going to show you how just engaging on the side of the walkie-talkie, you're going to set off these devices. And so if you have a team member or yourself walking along in an investigation and you so happen to trigger this guy, you're going to get some hits on your little devices, especially if you're considering on utilizing these guys as interaction tools. So in other words, you know, if you have this in your pocket and you happen to bend over and accidentally press the button, and then there you go. Oh. I just also set off my cordless phone here. So walkie-talkies, you know, especially turned on, are going to affect these devices. So I'll do it again. As you can see, my finger's on the press button. I'm going to press it. Even the cell sensor. Well, even over here I was setting off the cell sensor. And I'll put it up here close to the Tesla EMF meter, and see if I get any readings off of it. So very common devices, guys, you know, you need to watch out for, especially if you're using equipment like this to base your investigation on. You need to understand exactly what might affect it. So please understand the concepts and what actually affects your equipment, and then you can further yourself down your path as far as to obtain credible scientific evidence. Hope you enjoyed it. This is my little take. So come see me every Thursday night on Tech Time at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time on ParaEncounters Network.com. Thank you.